Happy New Year, guys! It is 2018, and we are back with a brand new season of the A3U review. Ain't that right, Boris?
That's right, and brand new set.
Yes, welcome to Raging Nation Studios. This is a brand new setup, and just for you guys, we're having it for this brand new season of the A3 review. We will, once in a while, revisit the store, but for the time being, this is where it's going to be at, and I'm pretty happy with how everything looks.
Yeah, it's nicely done.
Thank you.
It's very comfortable here, so I see a lot of great episodes coming up for you guys this season here. I wanted to apologize. We're kind of late on starting this season. I recently had a new addition to my family.
Congratulations, Boris. All right.
Thank you. He's a boy, and his name's Lucas. So very excited, Lucas, to have you join our family, and I can't wait to show you all of Daddy's Transformers. I mean, you won't get to play with them till you're older, but it's gonna be another great experience. So
For sure.
you know, if I'm a little bit off today, it's because I have completely had lack of sleep and all that. But we're gonna try our best to deliver a great episode and a great season.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even finished last season yet.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we did film a lot of stuff, and we filmed some stuff that you haven't seen yet, which we are still working on. We got a bit of a project. It's very ambitious, but you will see it. But the thing is, we never actually formally closed the previous season, but you will see the end result soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in a storytelling episodic TV show or anything.
Yeah.
So I think closing off the season after we started this season isn't such a weird thing. I mean, it's not conventional.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to keep you guys waiting.
Yeah.
So, and we don't want to keep you waiting for this episode either. So why don't we get it right into it?
Yeah.
We've got some great comparisons for you.
For sure.
We are going to be looking at comparing the LGEX box set for the God Ginrai with the individual LG42 and the LG35 from Takara that build the same set but look different.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of comparisons, we're going to take a look at Sixshot from Hasbro and Takara.
That's right.
All right, well, my name's Alex.
I'm Boris.
And you're watching the A3 Review. So for our first segment, we're going to do a comparison. Now, this might look familiar, and that is because we've actually already taken a look at this one. We did the comparison between the Takara version and the Hasbro version, but now we got something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's right. I get a lot of questions about this, and these are not new by any means, like Alex said. However, they are quite recent, and what we have on this side here is we have the Takara LG35 Ginrai and the LG42 Godbomber.
That's right.
These were sold separately. And then we also have the same thing, but in a set called the LGEX God Ginrai set from Takara as well. And it was a Takara Tommy Mall exclusive, whereas this one was available widely through all retailers.
Yep.
So the reason why we wanted to kind of rehash it again, Alex, is because I actually do get a lot of questions, especially in my store, like, what am I getting? Why should I buy the set versus the two individual pieces? Why, if I bought the two individual pieces, why do I care about the set? I mean, they're all good questions, and realistically, there's no real way to answer it because they actually are very different. Both products are very different, even though they represent the same figure. I mean, Alex, let's just start by just quickly going over what you kind of get.
Sure.
And what you have to do. So
absolutely.
So if you were kind of in the beginning already, put your money down on the Takara Ginrai and the Godbomber.
Yeah.
They did come as separate pieces, and they came at separate times.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things at the time that these guys were released, as you remember from our comparison, was that the Ginrai Prime offered improvement over the Hasbro Power Master Prime.
Yeah, that's right.
In that it allowed it to connect with the Godbomber to make God Ginrai. So everyone went crazy. Everyone bought the LG35 in hopes that they could secure the LG42 later and combine it. The Godbomber did come out, and it came with the headmaster, one of the headmasters, and also a sword, as well as the helmet. So that's kind of included in there.
Yeah.
This is actually Prime's headmaster.
Yeah.
And everything was good. And then a little bit after, Alex, as you know, they dropped the bomb that, hey, we're going to come up with a set. And people got pissed off because they're like, well, why did I just buy 2 pieces, wait so long, and it was more expensive, and then I don't get this set? Well, they're not wrong. I mean, you get a lot of value out of the LGEX set. I'm not going to lie. You get the same kind of thing going on with the set for a slightly better price. But you also get the extra 2 Master Force headmasters in there.
Yes.
Cabin Minerva. And basically, you get a lot of value for this set, but there are some differences, and I think that's what we want to take a look at today. Is just to show you that the differences aren't subtle for the main pieces, and they can actually affect whether you cared about the fact that you didn't get in on the combo and bought the regular, or makes you glad you waited to get this. So let's take a look at those differences.
Sure, absolutely. We should maybe take a look at the Godbomber set. So when I first look at this, compared to this one, the most obvious difference is the chrome. We got chrome at the missile tip and on the chest. And this is painted silver. And I think what it really comes down to is, if you like chrome, I don't think one is better than the other. I mean, it still looks good in chrome, but it also looks good with painted silver. So that stands out the most.
Exactly, I agree, Alex. And a lot of collectors out there, my customers as well, they've actually said that they much prefer the brushed aluminum look.
There you go.
Chrome is a very specific look to it. It also stands out quite a bit more.
Stands out a lot.
And sometimes it's not exactly what you want in a figure, in a display next to a whole bunch of figures that maybe might not have chrome. A lot of the Titans Returns or the LG versions of them didn't have chroming, so that could polarize this piece a little bit more when it's in combined mode. So having said that, there are a few things that I did like also about the individual set that people might care about as well, is the paint application. This had these very nicely painted paint application on the wings. It's actually a very nice red, and it makes a big difference because the sheen is very different than the plastic wings that they have on the actual set here. Not to say that the plastic looks cheap, it does not, but it doesn't have the same feel to it, right, Alex? It definitely is very different. Again, not to say one's better or not, just that if you prefer a different look, the painted one does have a very different feel to it than the plastic. So that is kind of the major differences I saw in terms of appearance. Everything else is kind of, the same. It's the same mold. They haven't improved anything or took away anything from this mold. And other than that, there's some subtle things, but nothing huge in alt mode. They still both connect to the back of the Prime, so you can have the vehicle combined mode with the trailer on the trailer on the trailer. So having said that, let's look at the Prime as well. Now the Prime is not as polarizing in my opinion, because it doesn't actually feature a huge amount of chrome on the Ginrai. So if you take a look though, the cab is one of the biggest differences. There's a lot of nice red paint on here. which is a plus and a minus. I mean, paint can always scratch. Mine already out of the packaging looks like it came with some sort of defect, like a scratch on the paint. And that's very noticeable when you have it on paint. But the actual feel of it, once again, it feels more like the painted wings on the Godbomber. I almost feel like this and this would have been
they go together. Yeah,
would have been a great pairing, right?
Yeah.
And another thing to notice is the nice translucent windows versus the painted windows on here. Don't know what it is, but it's not that it's low quality or cheap plastic or cheap paint even on here, but something about this versus the clear windows. This just looks more premium with the clear windows, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And, it's an added extra detail just because, it opens up and you can see the headmaster driving. So, what's not to like about that?
Yep, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I mean, the reds are slightly different on the plastic.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, as well as everything else is just kind of the same.
Yeah.
The blue and the metallic kind of blue plastic is still the same. Yeah. Guns for the most part. Yeah. Similar coloring, if not the same.
Yeah.
So not too much in that department, but again, some major parts that have a lot of big differences, and it really does cater to different people. The accessories themselves, again, the chroming versus the brushed aluminum.
Yeah.
Another preference thing. But, if you're looking for that value and looking to complete your Master Force trio of headmasters, I believe the other one came with, it was the Ghost Shooter that came with Wheelie.
Oh, yes.
So if you wanted to complete that set, unfortunately, you're not going to find these two headmasters with purchasing the individuals. So if you are looking for those, unfortunately, this is kind of the only set that you're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think, let's get it into combine mode. We'll skip the individual bot modes. I think we've covered a lot of the major differences here. But let's look at it in combine mode, because that'll give you a really good feel of the big differences between the two sets once combined into God Ginrai.
All right, let's do it. So now we have combined all the armor onto the robots, and wow, the differences are very, very subtle.
Well, other than the chrome.
Other than the chrome. But I gotta say that the chrome still looks nice. It's a very clean looking chrome, but this looks good too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, I kind of, just as a personal preference thing, I like the brushed aluminum paint. I just feel overall, it has more of a harmonious feel to it. Yeah. And it fits in nicely with the rest of the Headmaster line, I find. Yeah. The whole Legends line, because it has a lot of brushed aluminum in place of chrome. Yeah. But I do have to say, like, the reds, it's a subtle difference, but you'll notice that there's, like, this looks a little bit lighter in red because of the plastic that they're using is slightly lighter red. And then when they painted it, they also kind of tried to match the red, which is actually a really good match. Yeah. It's just a different sheen, but it's still a really great match. Yeah. And then this, you could tell they went for the darker plastic all around. I do have to say I like the darker red plastic. But overall, I mean, really, it comes down to, I think the major thing is the chrome. Yeah. Also, we noticed,
well, there's a number of really subtle differences. Like, for example, this one has that red little piece here. This one's black, and this has like the silver vents here. This is just all gray plastic. Just little things, mostly in the torso area. I mean, if we're talking about like around the beyond the chest area, which is chrome and silver here, there's little tiny differences. I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference to a collector, but I think that, if anything, these silver vents do add a nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, it contrasts nicely because you got the chrome there.
Yeah.
If it was just the gray plastic, I think it'd be a little bit too dull versus
Yeah.
the chrome. But the takeaway, I think, is, whether you appreciate the chrome look, because really that's the major difference between these two.
It is.
And then, of course, the value of the set. If you do like the chrome, you get the extra headmasters with this set.
Yeah.
Whereas this, if you just bought them separately, you don't get that, and slightly more expensive, like I said, if you get the set.
Yeah.
But I actually do like the buying it separately. I think all in all, it provided a very nice, harmonious look, like I said.
Yeah.
So it's more of a preference thing. Another good thing to note about this set is if you were able to just manage to get the Godbomber, there was a North American set called the Siege on Cybertron set.
Yeah.
And it basically featured the Ginrai mold in there. The set includes I think 4 other figures as well. So it's actually a good value for the set. I believe when it was retailing at about $100 US, which is a phenomenal deal because you get 5 figures, and one of them being the Ginrai here. Yeah. So the Ginrai Prime that came in it actually has the proper feet. A lot of people ask me that from the Siege of Cybertron set if it'll actually fit with the Godbomber, and it will because the feet are the right feet. What you don't want to get is the original Leader Class Power Master Prime. That has very different feet. You'll notice it because they don't square off like this, and because of that, they don't have the proper connector on the bottom either. So this whole assembly here on the Power Master Prime is very different. So you don't want to get that. You're not going to be able to combine it with the Godbomber. But if you were lucky enough to get one of the Siege and Cybertron sets and you have this guy kicking around, it's a good, cheaper, more economical alternative to pairing with the Godbomber set. And the actual differences with the paint on this compared to the Ginrai is very minimal, as well as the final decoing. It's actually very, very much like the God Ginrai. The only thing that is going to be a little bit different than the Takara Ginrai is that you got these huge Autobot symbols, whereas the Takara version has a very tiny symbols. And then you have the crotch piece here is all this metallic blue plastic. My bad. Losing my mind here. It's the lack of sleep from having a newborn. It's white and red on the Takara Ginrai, which gives it a nice contrast, but not a deal breaker in my opinion. So yeah, if you're able to get a hold of this guy, it's actually much more economical to combine this with a Godbomber LG42 piece. So I would highly recommend that. It's a good one to get. But if you don't want to hunt around, you're okay with the chrome, or you really like the chrome, this is the guy to get. And of course, you can only get, once again, the Headmasters to finish the Master Force trio from the set. So yeah, let's take a look at the next comparison.
So for our next comparison, we're going to be taking a look at Sixshot. We got Hasbro and Takara. And at first glance, you're thinking, okay, purple, turquoise. But once you look at it again, the differences are really quite out there.
Yeah, there's some major differences. And I mean, not just that one wanted to be more toon accurate and one was more toy accurate, but it's just drastically different.
Drastic.
in terms of how they painted it.
Yeah.
And did applications. So let's first start with why I wanted to do this comparison. I know some of you guys seen photos out there. But seeing it side by side makes a difference. And also, one of the big things about this Takara version is it's actually really it comes with a really nice art box.
Yeah.
So very much like the old G1 style art.
Yeah.
And it looks really good, except that there is zero way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no window box.
Yeah.
There's no flip up. You'd expect it, but you're just going to be staring at the back, kind of imagining how brilliant the different paint job is. So I thought I'd bring it out because, people don't get to see it side by side, and like the Hasbro one, which was in a window box, you actually got to see what it looked like. Let's start with the coloring. I mean, right off the bat, right, Alex? You can tell the difference.
Totally. I mean, there's this the bodies, like, they're both turquoise, but this is a more this is a more leaning towards greenish turquoise. This is more like a lighter blue turquoise. And like, once again, toy and tune, but I'm actually leaning towards this one. I like this a lot more, just because it just goes well with this I guess white. I'm not even sure if this is really even white, but I'm just going to say that it's white. It just blends better with this white. And then when you look at the legs, we have the purple there. But I noticed that this one is all like a full purple. This one's a purple and black. So they, that's a pretty major difference there, because they decided to incorporate two colors as opposed to the Takara one has one color, which is just that purple.
And it's actually a very different purple.
It is different, yeah.
This one really pops, I find. It goes really well with the kind of bluish tune.
Yeah.
Tune version of the turquoise, as opposed to the toy. And because of that, like, the colors just feel a little bit more I almost want to say like vibrant.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure that's the right word for it.
I find they go together just really well. It's like they go in harmony, and it's just it's not like this one where it's a little bit more contrasting. Like, it's a very, very hard contrast between some of those colors, but this really works in my opinion.
Yeah. And another huge thing to note on the Takara version is the length that they went to retool even the mask.
Yes.
It's actually very different looking than the Hasbro version. Again, tune versus toy accuracy. I think they really wanted to hammer that home. Things also like the painted rims.
Yeah.
That you don't get on the...
That's typical Takara versus Hasbro differences. With the wheels painted and not being painted on the Hasbro version.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and also another thing is, of course, the stickers. You got stickers for the Hasbro version, but this tampoing really looks good on the wings here for the Takara. So just a pretty distinct difference.
Yeah. This is one of those cases, though, where I feel like they're just such drastic differences that I want to have both. And it's because it's not just because they're drastic. It's because they really represent a very different version of the character. The toy accuracy, I do like the stickers in that it's a very retro feel to it. When I, look at this, I'm very much reminded of the G1 toy, and it feels good. The stickers, unlike a lot of the new Power of the Prime stickering, is done much nicer on the Titan Returns figures. I guess mileage varies if you got a bad batch. The stickers might be poorly placed, but this batch I got was really good. This one I got is like, the stickering is really done nicely, so it really feels very retro. This one, obviously, wanting to mirror the tune, it lacks a lot of that stickering. But then you look at the phenomenal paint job and the coloring, and then the fact that they actually went through the length to make the tooling on the helmet different. I don't say this a lot, but if you can, I would say spring for both. They're just that different that you kind of want them both on your shelf, and especially if you're a Sixshot fan.
Yeah.
I don't think you would want to miss out on either one. They're both done actually very, very well.
I don't even think you can even go wrong. If one sells out, get the other one. If this one sells out, get that one. You can't go wrong with them. They both look good, and they all have their bonuses. I mean, one of the things that I like about the Takara is especially the two color body, the purple and the turquoise, whereas the toy, whereas the more toy accurate version has a single color. But there ain't nothing wrong with that, just because this is the way the toy looked.
That's right. It was definitely a lot more basic in how it chunked the colors. There you have it. One of those rare times when I can't really decide, and I feel like I have to have both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
That's right, and stay tuned for next episode. We are going to have another episode of the A3U review night. Now, I wanted to personally thank you guys for being open to the last one. The feedback was great. Some of it was very much in line with what both me and you thought.
Exactly.
Right, Alex?
Yeah.
Now, remember, the purpose of that one is just to involve some of the local community that's here. So it is a different format.
Yeah.
But in no way is it going to get rid of or replace any of these comparisons we are doing right now. We will also continue with our Battle of the Bots segment every now and then. But this is just a great way to mix it up, to give you guys some idea of what the community's thinking, not just us as hosts.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great experience, but I think it needed a little bit of streamlining. So hopefully on the next one, you guys will be able to give us some more feedback as well. And I look forward to presenting again as a community review.
Yeah, we appreciate all your feedback. And just like Boris said, this is just another way to complement what we already have. So just a little way to change things up a bit. But anyways, it seems that a lot of you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got lots of great stuff coming up for you guys, so make sure you are subscribed, and be sure to, of course, hit that like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. We got social media on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us all there and to stay updated with all the latest releases and, of course, more episodes. And, of course, thank you for all your support at ages3andup.com. My name is Alex.
I'm Boris.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.